I would like to ask you, when you decided to study cinema and films, it was pretty difficult this time in Greece. The fact that Greece didn't give you a lot of opportunities back then.
No, in Greece, in my period, in my age, when I was younger, even younger than you, there was no possibilities, no any possibility. And particularly because I was belonging to a class or society which doesn't have any rights, let's say. So the only way to study was to go outside. And the only place to study, because I didn't have money, is in France, because the studies are free for the university and then for the students. They have facilities for housing, facilities for restaurants, and so forth. So France was the right place. My idea at the beginning was to learn to write. And then I discovered very quickly that there was another way to tell stories. It was with images, cinema. So I decided to leave La Sorbonne after a while and to go to the IDEC, which was the School for Cinema in France. IDEC is Institut de Haute Études Cinématographiques. So. And then I was very lucky after finishing the school to be assistant of some major directors in France. That was very helpful to learn better the cinema.
We've seen your movie Amen in here in the festival, and we would like to know that what was the impacts of your movie Amen?
The impact, I don't want to know the impact of my movies because I would like to stay free for next movie. Not to say I will have to have a better impact this one and so forth. So I know people like the movie, it has a big success in the theaters. And people came to me on the street and say, great movie, that's all I know about it.
Well, we couldn't help but notice, while we were watching, that the shooting techniques, they gave it sort of a feel that it wasn't from the 2000s. We were watching the movie and we felt like it was something, it felt like a film made previously. So why was this a choice you made for your
You know, each theme, each story has its way of, for me, to be shot, to be told. So I have the choice I made for that movie was that way, a kind of traditional way of making a movie, because the story was so big, so complex. So I didn't like to add to this complexity the technical things. It was to be very simple and very direct. That's the idea. If you see other movies I made, are completely shot in a completely different way. The shooting depends, because the shooting, what's the shooting? It's a writing, as you write a book. So it's writing it comes from the story itself.
All right, so
You cannot use it the same writing for every book, as you cannot use the same writing for every movie.
Does Amen have an underlined message like you want to give specially for the audience?
Sorry?
Underlined message in the Amen.
No, I don't have message. It's trying to sell a message is ridiculous. We're not there to make messages. They are political leaders, they are religious leaders for messages. We tell stories. We make a show. The movie is a show. You go to the movies because you like to go to the show. You don't go to listen a kind of political speech or religious speech or whatever speech or even academical speech. You go there to have feelings, good feelings, to like, to not like, to laugh, to cry, to be furious eventually. Those are the feelings, the feelings you can have in a spectacle, like the theater, like the musical concerto, and so forth. So no message. But you say what you think, personally, what's your feelings about that story, about that particular story. My feelings was that the Pope, who was a kind of moral authority at that period, less today. Today everybody makes joke with the Pope. At that time you would go to the prison if you say anything against the Pope, in Italy, in France, everywhere. So in front of that extraordinary situation, the extermination of the Jews, he knew everything. Every moment he'd say nothing. that morally was unacceptable. And the other thing that interests me that movie, as a theme, is the resistance. I think in life we have always to resist, not accept things just because people say you do this or you do that. We have to resist. If not, you become slaves. We become slaves.
So, Mr. Gavras, you always choose important and risky topics for your films. And have you ever thought to make something more conventional, maybe something different from your topics? And what will you advise to young directors that want to start making films?
No, I have made different movies. If you start from my first movie to the last one, everyone it's different story, different place, different people and so forth. No, concerning to the young people, I don't have advices. The only thing I would say is to be personal, to do what you think without imitating other people, other directors, for the cinema, for example, other directors or other writers, or to be in the only way to tell a story, to tell it as you feel yourself, without using the talent or trying to use the talent of someone. Okay. Because you have the talent we have, limited, big, halfway, so you should use this talent.
Okay, thank you very much.